Hey folks, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? I know I've done another video like this before in the past, so I'm gonna try to cover some different information on the subject, um, or present it in a way that's a bit more, um, well, you'll see. So this is on the left side, healthier kinds of foods and diets and things and lifestyle, and the right side is getting to the right side more and more is less healthy. So again, looking at these two columns, but focusing on this leftmost one first off, let's talk about some foods that are really some among the healthiest foods that you can eat. Uh, uh, and a lot of these within moderation and variety. And again, definitely don't have to have all of these or even most of these, just some of these or whatever your favorites are. But let's go through some of these guys here on the healthiest end. Quinoa, actually, I don't eat, but it's very healthy for you. It has complete proteins, which is really impressive. And by the way, buckwheat is the same way. In case you're wondering, that's buckwheat's part of the rhubarb family, and that's kind of interesting. Potatoes, definitely, although you can overdo it, kind of. But potatoes are still very, very healthy, so you can kind of go both. Anyway, amaranth also, plantains, sweet potatoes, definitely yams, lentils, all the beans, like most of the beans, really. Black beans, adzuki beans, for instance, navy beans, hummus, which is basically chickpeas or garbanzo beans with garlic, kind of ground up, and asazi beans, mung beans, so many other types of beans, flageolet beans, lots of other kinds of beans, walnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts, hazelnuts, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, flax seeds. By the way, chia seeds also and hemp seeds. Lots of different kinds of fish, but more wild caught, like wild caught salmon, mackerel, halibut, cod, as well as I think scallops. Is it? I get scallions and scallops mixed up all the time. And also sardines. Canned sardines may be more closer to here, but well, sardines are really healthy for you. And herring along with that. Herring. But this is, caught in fresher, healthier, better waters. Getting onto fruits, organic apples and pears, organic berries, especially blueberries and cranberries, that sort of thing. Also strawberries, raspberries, that sort of thing, black raspberries, avocados, blackberries, avocados, melons, uh, organic plums, organic cherries, and by the way, nectarines would kind of be in this general vicinity as well, both and apricots as well. Kiwi fruit, grapefruit, lemons and limes probably be in this area too. All the fresh herbs, and there's many other fruits that you could fit in these two areas as well, of course. But yeah, fresh herbs, mushrooms, also the whole allium family, like leeks, onions, shallots, um, chives, garlic is a huge one. Garlic is huge. Of course, carrots and celery, and the whole Apiaceae family. So fennel seeds, so fennel bean there, as well as dill, gourds, so squash and zucchini. Um, I guess the acorn squash, butternut squash, pumpkins, the whole mustard family or the Brassicaceae family, broccoli, cauliflower, watercress, collards, kale, all that stuff, all that stuff. And then I think arugula might be in there, but chinnopods or the goosefoot family, whatever they call it, chard, that's Swiss chard, spinach, beets, and quinoa is also a member of that family as well. Uh, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I think we often call it chinnopods. Okay, and of course, mentioned arugula, romaine lettuce, and many other lettuces in general from the Asteraceae family, which is like the sunflower seed family, basically, including artichoke, but also asparagus, which is kind of related to the allium family, but it's got its own Asparagaceae kind of thing going on. Now, lifestyle stuff: to bed earlier and awake earlier at the same time every day, very, very consistent, and lots of exercise. That's about as healthy as you can get, especially, if you're, taking care of trying to have a good life, be hardworking, be kind to everybody, have a principled life, all that sort of thing, too, especially that stuff. And going on to the second column, which is very similar, but you'll start to see bit by bit, well, you'll see what's happening more, especially in the third column. So like a healthy diet. Also lots of water. Talking about foods like rice and organic corn and bananas, millet, tofu, and tempeh. And a lot of these guys can easily be over here as well. So don't get me wrong, these are not less healthy. It's just, you'll see where I'm going with this in a bit. Multigrain pasta, 100% stone ground whole wheat bread, barley bread, rye bread, oatmeal. It's just that gluten kind of drives it down a little bit, is all. These are still very healthy foods, in my opinion, but the gluten isn't so great for you. Other than that, they're good for you. So you can get gluten-free options and stuff. That might be a good way to go with this stuff. Pinto beans, pistachios, cashews, pasture-raised eggs, wild-caught shrimp, wild-caught shellfish, duck eggs. We're still talking about fish and eggs, generally speaking, in the animal foods arena. It's just, yeah. Anyway, of course, canned mackerel, a lot of canned fish in general, but more some of the mediocre range. Of course, with fruit, oranges, apples, and pears, conventional apples and pears, by the way, mangoes and peaches, a lot of tropical fruits that we get shipped in here in this probably vicinity, peaches and grapes, just because of their sugar content. But I personally think grapes might be even really healthier because of their dark color and bioflavonoids or whatever. But passion fruit, guava, and coconut. Coconut's probably even healthier for you, but I don't really eat coconut myself. I don't. Anyway, coconut oil, yes, but coconut, anyway. Whatever. Okay, coconut's just fine, though, don't get me wrong. Olives and figs and dates. It's just that they can be a little bit sugary. Honey and dark chocolate in parentheses because you can overdo it a little bit there, but they're still actually good for you. Spices, also good for you. Green beans and peas and iceberg lettuce, cucumber, tomato, eggplant, bell pepper. The Solanaceae family, but you can probably consider potatoes maybe even to be over here, but I consider potatoes to be one of the healthiest starches out there. But the Solanaceae family is kind of like the chenopod family with regard to the concerns about oxalates and things. The Solanaceae family there can be concerns about the nightshades. It's the nightshade family, so maybe just don't have as much of it as some of the other stuff. Like for vegetables, go heavy on the romaine and mustard somewhat, but also Apiaceae, carrots and celery, and alliums, and all that stuff. Anyway, we're good. So then, of course, borscht is probably healthier. That might be over here. Sauerkraut and kimchi, I think maybe it should be in this ballpark as well. Especially with their good things they do for gut bacteria. So really, these probably should be in the healthiest arena. And then in the healthy arena, you get enough sleep most days, fairly regular sleep, right? So you're doing okay there, and get some exercise. Get some. If you tend to live this way, you're gonna be pretty healthy, I think, overall. Okay, and it also has to do. There's other things too that impacting your health that have to do with your other areas of life, like just social, spiritual kinds of things, and there's all kinds of stuff like that. But you guys can research that, I think, on more on your own. But now we're in the middle range here, the mediocre, not necessarily a standard American diet yet, quite, but we're getting there a little bit. So the mediocre health, if you're going to be in mediocre health, this is kind of in general what you're going to be eating for the most part. I'm sorry, we'll go through this a little bit more slowly. Wheat bread, which is not exactly 100% stone ground whole wheat. It might have some white bread in it too. So if it says wheat bread, it might not be really wheat bread. And it also has a lot of gluten. Conventional corn, which is GMOs. Pineapple, just because it's sugar content, if you have a whole bunch of it all the time. Spaghetti, ravioli, baguettes, French bread. Oatmeal cookies, which are fine. But refried beans, and in general, a lot of canned stuff that would be healthier, but canned stuff in general. Canned veggies might be closer over here, but a lot of canned stuff, a lot of canned food is in that middle ring range, which is fine if you're again food storage. You're talking about food storage, but it's food storage stuff, canned food, peanuts and tortilla chips. Now, even you might consider some of this stuff to be healthier, but it's because of the more complex the organism. We're talking about animal foods. The more it's going to have some things about it that are a little bit not as great for your health. You still want to have mostly plant foods. So we're talking about organic eggs, organic chicken, organic turkey, canned tuna, canned clams, canned oysters. You're still talking about food that's just fine for you. We're talking about this. You can eat it without worrying about it. However, it's not going to have as much going for it as this stuff. And a lot of this food we're talking about more omega-3s in general with the pasture-raised eggs and chicken. I could put pasture raised chicken. I don't know. I've only seen pasture raised eggs. But if it's pasture raised, it's going to be healthier than organic. And organic is still going to be healthier than conventional meat, which we'll get to in a bit. But so again, organic eggs, organic chicken, organic turkey, canned tuna, canned clams, canned oysters are just fine. They're just fine. They just won't be quite as amazing for you as the other stuff. Lamb and bison and venison and rabbit are just fine for you as well. But again, some of them are red meats, and so they're going to have some more drawbacks there. Peanut butter for cooking, which is just fine for you, but you can really overdo it if you're not careful. But butter is okay. Grass-fed beef, canned fruit, dried fruit, pomegranate juice, which should be probably closer to the healthy arena. Same thing with cranberry juice. Some of these fruit juices are actually low enough in sugar and they have enough bioflavonoids that really they are healthier for you. But pomegranate juice I found it to be very expensive sometimes. Freshly made fruit juice, it's great stuff. And like smoothies might fall in this arena somewhat, depending on the smoothie. Yeah, maybe. Molasses, salt, with salt I have no opinion. I've heard some very bad things about it. I've also heard some good things about it. I've heard better things about salt if it's Himalayan pink salt or if it's salt with a lot of minerals or iodine or whatever. But I'm undecided. I think if you don't really add very much of it to your diet, you're probably doing okay. But it's in the middle range because we do need some salt, but we tend. I think I'm more of the opinion that we tend to get enough salt in our diet. But again, salt is not a bad thing, So it falls in the middle for me, even if you might consider it to be closer over here to unhealthy. I can definitely see that too. Healthy crackers, and so I don't buy crackers, but my mom does. So, there are crackers you can buy that are just fine for snacking on, but they have to say things like, I think you know which crackers I'm talking about. And by the way, when it comes to cereal, I didn't put cereal on here, but cold cereals. I'm not talking about oatmeal, that sort of thing. Or muesli and kashi I know are healthier in general, even if they have gluten a little bit, but we're talking about a lot of cold cereals. Cold cereals are going to fall into this and this general ballpark. Mediocre to unhealthy. That's cold cereals. I do apologize for not putting in there, but that's cold cereals. And the more sugary cereals are going to be closer to this range. Maybe not quite fully in here, but they're going to be more in this range. If you eat a lot of Fruit Loops and Cocoa Puffs and things, yeah. Okay, so I mentioned healthy crackers. They're fine. Real maple syrup and Campbell's soups. Campbell's soups have been criticized a lot. I know they're not super amazing, but they're okay. Just have a lot of sodium. And in general, a lot of packaged Asian food is not terrible for you, but it's going to have really high sodium a lot of times. So you just want to be careful about things like soy sauce and things that have a lot of sodium. And also the GMO thing with soy, somewhat. Hearty stews I find to be right in the middle. So turnip, cabbage, beef, radishes. They might even fall into this arena. It's just a question of what you're putting in the stew and how long you're cooking it. But yeah, a lot of stews can fall in this range. More especially in the healthy range, I think. Healthier, depending on what you're doing with it. Somewhat irregular sleep. Yeah, many of us don't get quite the sleep we need. Always. And if we're just sedentary, generally speaking, that's going to be mediocre. It's not going to kill us, but we probably could do with some exercise to do better. But so much of this is are you getting regular sleep all the time? Are you getting some exercise at least? And are you getting a lot of plant foods in your diet? Really healthy whole foods. Is that what you're doing? Okay, moving on to the unhealthy arena here for diet. Sorry for moving my phone around. I'm trying to keep this steady. We're talking about white bread. Somewhat healthier popcorn even. Kind of. Top ramen, macaroni and cheese, chocolate chip cookies. Homemade's better than like Subway bought or whatever. Fudge and brownies, I know. Pies, pizza. I'm talking about more type of pizza that's meatier but also cheesier somewhat. Deep dish would even be over here. Deep dish is not good. That Chicago style stuff won't fly. It's not healthy. I understand if you're really hungry, it's probably not going to kill you, but Yeah. Frozen burritos, frozen chimichangas, frozen taquitos, especially the more crazy, funky, weird stuff they put in there, the worse it is. Conventional eggs, conventional chicken, conventional turkey, uncured bacon, even pork and beef, just not grass fed, just regular conventional stuff. Canned albacore tuna, farmed shrimp, ham, corned beef, bratwurst, Braunschweiger, whatever, duck, Parma ham, grass fed dairy, hamburgers, fruit juice. This is even 100% stuff. Not so healthy. Gotta watch how much of that you're drinking. I including myself in this regard. I drink some of this. I know it's my indulgence, but it could do worse. It's a question of how much you're drinking of it. I know. Canned cranberry sauce. It's jellied. If you get the canned cranberry sauce that has whole cranberries, that's going to be closer into here. Better. It's better for you. But the tastier stuff, somewhat, or the Thanksgiving thing that we like to have Thanksgiving is jellied. I understand that, and that's coming up here pretty soon. Good old Thanksgiving. So, but yeah, not so great for you. Just regular chocolate bars, like milk chocolate, not dark chocolate. Chocolate pudding, hot cocoa. The higher quality hot cocoa maybe you could put in the middling arena, but when we're talking about hot cocoa, we're talking generally about it's junkier. But it's a more acceptable junkier thing. It's not super bad for you. Regular crackers. Yeah. Black licorice. I know. 100% fruit popsicles even because they just don't have the fiber, even if they're 100% fruit. And if you get irregular sleep, you're very sedentary and you have a lot of stress going on in your life and you're unhappy in general. And then that unhappiness is going to negatively affect your health too. And yep, okay, the worst area I know. This is the very unhealthy stuff. And again, like just all the stuff I'm talking about, the more stuff you're eating in these different categories, the more your health is going to go these directions. But it also includes sleep and exercise. It's all included here. Very unhealthy stuff that you're just not going to do you any good. It actually do you bad. And by the way, I'm not including. Well, it would be even farther to the right here. Farther to the right, in my opinion, is alcohol, tobacco, certainly drugs, goes without saying. But, contrary to what a lot of people believe, you might think that tea and wine or coffee are not so bad. I'm going to, herbal tea is fine. Herbal tea is fine, but green and black teas are not going to do you very much good. Even, but we're not talking about that stuff. I'm not talking about that so much stuff too much, but I'm not including that stuff on here. But that stuff is just, I can understand again the biggest argument. There's a lot to say about green tea, at least, but I just wouldn't recommend it. I'll put it that way. But definitely no. Coffee is not good, and definitely no smoking at all, and no alcohol at all, no wine even. I mean, no, it's just no. You think it's less sugar, but that wine is not going to do you any good. Okay, let's get into this. Definitely goes without saying, no drugs or marijuana, folks. Sorry, I just can't. I can't. Nope. Okay, so here we go. Donuts, croissants, French fries, conventional popcorn, cake and cupcakes, Twinkies and Ho-Hos, calzones even. Now, calzones can be not so bad for you, but they're really fatty. We're talking about the fattier kinds. And this is American-style Italian food. We're not always necessarily talking about just Italian food. Italian food itself is better. I'm going to put Italian food not so bad. If it's higher quality, they also see the same thing in Europe. You see higher quality meat, and you see higher quality cheese, and you see higher quality of so Italian food, German food, French food that's really like this dairy stuff. It's gonna be closer in here than maybe even going into mediocre a little bit. But we're talking American style Italian food here. It's really super fatty, cheesy, really super fatty, but it's as fatty as you can imagine. Again, donuts, croissants, French fries, conventional popcorn, cake and cupcakes, Twinkies and Ho-Hos, and everything like that. All kinds of similar things like that. Calzones, lasagna and bacon. This is conventional bacon, mind you. Pork bacon, whatever. And just especially the lower quality stuff. Yeah, with the nitrates and everything. Canned corned beef, Hormel canned corned beef. Sorry, it's just not very healthy. Frozen sausages, Canned Vienna sausages, yeah. Pork rinds, cheese pizza, bologna, salami, pepperoni, and pastrami. Again, the more of the American varieties or the fattier stuff, the stuff with the nitrates and the stuff that's not very fresh, and it just is just yeah. Cold. We're talking about cold cuts in general. Not good for you at all. Smoked meats, not good for you. Cheddar cheese, Monterey Jack cheese, Gouda cheese. You'd think cheese might be not so bad for you. Depends on the quality. Again, if we're talking about European or higher quality, it's going to be more expensive. Not so bad. But we're talking about American, full fat, conventional dairy, lots of hormones in it. It's not going to be very good for you. I don't see now this stuff in general. Anything with protein is probably not going to be as bad for you as the top stuff or the stuff that's farther down, which we'll get into in a bit sec. So the stuff with protein, the stuff with that has you might actually have for lunch on a fairly regular basis is not going to be as bad, but I'm putting it in the very unhealthy category because it can be addictive. It can be habit forming. Meat and cheese and white bread and stuff, and it's like sugar. You just want more and more of it all the time. That kind of thing. So it's not good for you. Conventional dairy, hot dogs, frozen pot pies, frozen dinners in general. They just don't have. They're just more processed, folks. So it might not be super unhealthy, or you might think that it's not very unhealthy, but it's going to have a lot of sodium. It's going to have a lot of preservatives, and it's a habit. Again, it's just, but again, not as bad as some of the other stuff, but it still is rather unhealthy. Soda and pop, definitely this one. Oh my gosh, folks, this one is a big one. It's a big one. Soda and pop is just, oh, there's just nothing good about it. It tastes good. That's it. It's like candy. Yeah, no, it is candy. Fruit drinks, not necessarily fruit juice, which my opinion is a little bit healthier, but still not. I wouldn't say it's healthy, like like Whole Foods are, but fruit drinks, anything with a lot of corn syrup, no. Candy, definitely, we know it's not healthy. Ice cream, just a lot of fat, a lot of stuff, empty calories and stuff. But ice cream might be still a little better than candy, depending on what kind of ice cream you're eating and how much of it you're having. Ice cream really isn't all that bad, like the dairy thing. But I just just here and there occasionally, not very. Conventional chips, scones, and fair food in general. So like the deep fried bacon flavored donuts. Yeah, junk food in general, junk food. Also, if you're getting terrible sleep, it's very erratic. Um, Not good for you if you're very, very sedentary. Just sitting around all day, every day, all the time. Not even walking. Like you're really sedentary. You have a high stress life and you're extremely unhappy. The more that your life is like this, the more that you can expect to die, probably in your, I hope like 50s, but at least 60s. You can probably die in your 60s, and yeah, I'd be surprised if you lived past 80. That would be surprising. You're more likely going to die in your 60s, early 70s, maybe. Getting in here, this range, you're going to die 70s. Yeah, good chance. 70s, maybe 80s. If you're living in this range, even because we're talking about, you keep living longer and longer lives. We do with better medicine now, but and better whatever. We're starting to look into the 80s and even 90s if you get more into this range. But if you are consistently in this range, kind of going into here somewhat too, so these three, but more especially these two, living this way, you're going to live, my opinion, you'll live at the very least into your 80s, if not, you'll be a centennial. Well, you'll live to 100 years old. It's a really good chance that'll happen, at least 90s. Especially if it's more in this range. We're talking about if you really do kind of have a good balance of foods, but you're talking about very like lower sugar content, but lots of bioflavonoids and lots of omega-3s and lots of minerals, lots of minerals, right? You're taking good care of yourself. You're going to live a long time. So the question comes down to what your favorite foods are. We've gone over, and we can go over those. You can ask me any questions if you want uh, regarding any of these foods and lifestyles. And again, all this stuff, you don't, it's a compilation of a lot of things I've read and watched over time. And so there's always other resources out there you can get even more information about. And you can nitpick if you want to some of this stuff and say it's not quite in the right category, and that's okay. But this is what I've learned in general um, about the subject. All right, you guys leave me thoughts and comments below. Catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.